Welcome back to another episode of the Know Your Power podcast. I am your host, Julia Renee.
And Kendall Aaliyah.
And today, guys, we have another episode of bodybuilding tea. So for me, it's like crack open your favorite energy drink and let's get into it. Kendall was a doll and she brought energy drinks in today because
I needed it last week. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been struggling a lot lately.
Energy-wise?
Yeah, man.
You are in prep.
I have been in prep for 6 months. Mm-hmm. And this morning was rough because do you ever just like wake up and automatically you're just like in a negative mind space and you're like,
you should have seen me on Saturday, girl.
And you're like, how did we get here?
I woke up on Saturday and like instantly was like, I'm depressed. Like I have to be like, there's no other explanation.
I was like, I'm just depressed today. Yeah. Like it was so weird.
Yeah. And then the whole morning I was like crying at everything. Didn't want to do, I was like, I just want to lay in bed.
Yeah.
It was definitely, so yes, I do know exactly how that feels.
It's so weird. It's almost like whatever happens in your dream space like starts to affect, because I have a feeling that I had a dream that had something to do with like bodybuilding or like some of my fears.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, I had that in my brain. I can't remember what it was.
No, literally it was the same. For me,
weird.
it was social media.
Yeah.
Where something happened and I woke up and I was like, I'm never going to be an influencer. I'm never going to have impact and like all these things. And yeah, it was like in a dream. I was at some like influencer convention and all of them were like, who are you? And I was like, no.
Because like, why else would you just wake up with that thought?
Exactly.
Because I mean, I was doing fine. Like I've been doing so great. And like I share everything on YouTube and on Instagram when I'm feeling like off. But there had to be something in my dream that happened. I know it did because I can remember at least it was bodybuilding-esque.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just woke up. I guess that's what waking up on the wrong side of the bed is.
Yep.
But I feel a little bit better now because I love so much about what I do, and I was so excited to do the podcast. And it's like, okay, I'll just wait till Kendall to get here and I'll feel better. So,
the energy drink will fix everything.
I know, and she got me an energy drink. So it's like little things to look forward to.
You got this.
Today we got some bodybuilding tea. You've probably seen the title, so you know like general ideas of what it is. Guys, the industry's going whack this week, bro.
I want to preface this. I don't know what we're talking about today. Julia fully wrote all of this down and I am like blind reacting with you guys. I know a little bit like because I'm not like
because sometimes it's just like the For You page of TikToks. Like we're showing you this and you have to watch it against your will.
Yeah. But I definitely don't know details about anything. Julia's about to enlighten all of us.
Yes.
And I'm excited and scared.
I'm like way too excited to share, but also not at the same time. Yeah. Because there's some things that are just really awful that just need to be addressed, and it's not cool, man. But there's some things that are super cool, like a lot of wellness updates that I'm so excited to share about, and really like heartwarming things. So we'll get into it. But first of all, I'm going to add my own little bodybuilding tea from my own life into this episode. It's not really anything. It's actually something really funny. Pardon me. So I posted this video on TikTok, and it was, did you see the one where, I was talking about reactions that people get to me when I'm walking around on the street. So basically, I was walking around downtown a couple of weeks ago, and I passed a group of guys, and the reactions that they did when I passed by, because I was wearing a like little bandeau and my traps were trapping that day, man.
If it's the same day you made that video, your traps were most definitely trapped.
I literally, and in the video, go on TikTok to watch it, but I was like laughing at myself because I was dying, like how ridiculous I looked. I love the way that I look, and I don't care.
As you should.
But it was hilarious because the guys literally, it was like a double take and then like whispers, and it was just crazy because that happens so much when you like get leaner and you get more muscle. Like people start to look at you like you're a freak of nature or something. So I made that video. It goes viral on TikTok. Was not expecting that to happen. And I had this company reach out to me asking to do a news article on it. This is why I don't drink energy drinks during a podcast, because I can't stop burping.
It's going to be okay. I'll fill the sound while Julia burps.
It'll be good. Yeah, I'm not going to do that to your ears all this
Thank you for
podcast
that.
episode. Yeah. So I didn't realize how quick the turnaround would be for this article, and I kind of forgot. So they just, they'll ask, can we do an article about it? Can we use some of these photos? Can you sign a waiver? So I just did all that, and I was like, why not? And yesterday, my mom calls me early in the morning, which is not normal.
Yeah.
And she says, Julia, your uncle in Connecticut texted your dad and said that you were on a news article on MBC, which is like Microsoft News. And I was like, oh my God, really? Because at this point, I didn't realize it was that article that I gave information to, because I was just like, yeah, sure, whatever. It probably won't come out for a while.
Yeah.
And she says, he wants to know if you are pregnant. and you didn't tell.
Wait, why?
him because they called me a muscle mommy.
Oh.
So I'm
non-fitness people not knowing what a muscle mommy is.
Bro.
He was like, a muscular mother.
Yes. So the title literally says like, Julia Renee, the muscle mommy that makes men double take.
That's so
or
good.
they're in awe of her when she walks by. And my uncle says, what's a muscle mommy? Is she pregnant? No, and you didn't tell us?
That's so good. That's like the best. I thought you were going to be like, they slandered me in the article or like something crazy. That's so good.
It was such an, the comments were going wild.
Oh, I'm
I mean,
sure.
there wasn't like that. There's a couple like 100 by the time that I had actually seen it. But all of them were so mean. It was like, ew, gross, not for me, hate it. And I was just like, what made
It's
me
not
realize.
for you, sir.
Yeah, because I like, I was reading them to my mom because my mom and dad called me because they couldn't find it and they wanted to find it. And I was reading like some of the comments. I said, oh my God, these comments are crazy. And she's like, what do they say? I read them. And it was just wild because I was able to read all of those things, like some of these nasty things about myself, and it didn't even affect me at all. And granted, like I've come a long way, because before that would have destroyed me. It would have utterly destroyed me. I would have not wanted to like continue. I would have tried to like change my physique for other people. But now when I see comments like that, it's just like, it really doesn't affect me anymore because I've practiced not letting it affect me.
Yeah. TikTok will do that to you.
For sure. And I don't even look at like at a certain point when that video started going really viral, I stopped looking and answering comments because some of them were like, I don't even know what percentage. Let's say 50% were, oh my God, like you're amazing. I totally understand this. Like other girls saying the same thing. And the other 50% is like, you look absolutely like you're the ugliest thing to walk the planet.
It's crazy. And a lot of comments still affect me if they're like very like certain things, specific triggers, I guess.
Oh, if they're like soap, like your left earlobe is not as big as your right.
Like, how did they know?
They knew.
But yeah, it's always like the most random, specific, like odd comments that do bother me. But the general like, who would find this attractive, like whatever, I'm like, apparently not you. So like, why are you commenting?
Yeah. So that was my own little bodybuilding.
That's crazy.
Drama.
That's actually so funny. That's how you found out too.
It was so hilarious. I was like, how did he find it all the way over there? It was so funny. But yeah, so go check it out if you haven't. I think it's on MSC, Microsoft Network. Microsoft.
We can link it below, maybe.
Yeah, whatever.
Just don't read the comments, or go comment positive stuff,
or read the comments and laugh along with me. But it was funny. So next is the wellness division is going berserk. Plus,
I haven't seen any of this.
There's some drama. There's a little bit of drama. Okay. It's not really that big of a deal, honestly. But first of all, the vice president of the NPC and NPC Worldwide, Tyler Mannion, put out an updated video on the wellness criteria, guys. So we have updated information on what they want to see, what they don't want to see, like common mistakes. So this video is so incredible. I'll also link it down below. Let me make a note of that really. Can you make a note of that, Kenny, while I vamp about this at the very bottom? But I don't want to forget, guys. So somebody actually sent it to me on Instagram because I hadn't seen it. And then I was like, thank God they sent. So I watched the whole thing like 3 times. So they're going over basically what they want to see on stage and what they don't want to see. And it was super enlightening and made me feel so much better. And I feel like it's going to provide upcoming wellness girls with an actual chance. And we'll go into why, but like the things that they don't want to see is too much muscle in your upper body. The upper body should be as smaller than the lower body. They don't want to see thick, dense, wide waists. They do not want to see legs that are too muscular. This is a really big one that they were talking about because a lot of the girls are getting too big for the division.
Yeah.
Or there's some figure girls that are trying to drop down into the division and it's getting too muscular, which is a common thing that happens in bodybuilding is that they make a division and it's small. And then throughout the years, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's just what happens.
I feel like we've had to see bikini almost have to do the reverse because bikini was getting bigger and bigger. And then when they made wellness, they were like, well, now we need a bigger contrast.
That's exactly what happened. When the wellness division came out, they started judging bikini differently, which was crazy because there was that middle between bikini and figure now. Yeah. So another thing they don't want to see is unbalanced legs, like one muscle being bigger than the other. So for example, if you have overdeveloped quads and underdeveloped hamstrings, they don't want to see that. And they don't want to see striations or deep separation. They also don't want you to push your quads out in the back pose. So in this video, they actually popped up pictures of competitors for these things. And I think the competitor that they popped up for this was Sunny Andrews. And basically pushing your quads out on your back.
I always do.
I do it too. I was
like, I need to for that width, but it does make sense.
Basically because it makes your quad, you can see your quads from the back pose because you'll grab your quads and push them outwards so that from the back you see them popping out the sides. And they're just saying not to do this too much because one thing that I did notice when Sunny Andrews does do that pose is that you can see when she goes, like you can see the push. So I don't really necessarily know if they said not to do it at all. I can't remember. Or to just like
do it less.
Don't do it that much. Now, what they do want to see in the front pose is cap shoulders slightly bigger than bikini, glutes from the front pose. They want to see glutes like while you're facing the front. They want to see that
crazy?
That glute popping.
Like, let's see your ass from the front.
While you're facing me forward, I want to see your glutes. But that's how you can like manipulate your posing so that you can see that. And they want to see the hourglass shape. From the side pose, they want to see glute fullness from the side, definition between the quad and the hamstring. So they want to see that there's balanced also. So from the side, they don't want to see that your quad looks way bigger than your hamstring. Yeah. So there is ways that you can pose to help with that imbalance because I have that imbalance. Like my quads are more developed than my hamstrings and my glutes. So I don't even know if I told you this, but it was very recent. And I talked about it on my YouTube channel, but I'm only training quads every other week now.
I saw you say that.
Yeah. So literally last week it was glutes, hams, glutes, hams, glutes, hams. This week it was quads, glutes, and then it's glutes, hams, glutes. And we repeat that because I have this imbalance. We also took out an upper body day. I only have one upper body day. It's on Mondays and then that's it. And Friday.
So are you doing more rest days or is it like cardio only? Or?
So basically my training split now, it might help for me to tell you guys because I have basically structured my training program to fit these things. And what's crazy is we did this. And then a couple days later, this video came out.
Oh, that's crazy.
So it was so wild.
I thought this came out first and you were like, let's do quads less.
It made me, I was like, I'm so happy. Like we just kind of, I guess, intuitively knew because I texted my coach and was like, I don't know why. I feel like my upper body's getting too big for the division. Honestly, it was after I made that TikTok video.
Oh, okay.
Not that I don't love my upper body, but it was like, I have to fit into a category. So now my routine with these new criteria, that's a good word, is Monday is I hit everything upper body. So it's literally shoulders, back, biceps, and a little bit of triceps, all of it in one workout. And then Tuesdays, glutes and hams. And then that's where I'll every other week, put quads. Wednesdays rest, Thursdays glutes and hams. Friday is an athletic training day, so I have to jump up and down and do all those things.
Is that like HIIT? Basically, okay.
It's like 3 circuits, and I have to do each of them 3 times or something like that. And then Saturday is glutes and hams again, and then Sunday is rest. So that's my new
glute and ham.
Because that's my weak point. So we're doing that a lot more, and we're not training shoulders as much, and we're not training my quads as much because they're already very developed and they're right where we want them to be. And this criteria basically just let me know exactly. Like I sent it to my coach, and I was like, great, we're doing the right thing.
We're doing it right. Have you always been quad dominant, or do you think you became quad dominant through training?
I have always been quad dominant. Even when I was in wrestling, like I had quads.
Yeah.
Like I had teeny tiny quads compared to
Isn't it crazy? Because I look back and I thought I had huge quads, and I'm like, they were so small.
People called me, like they always said I had big quads even when I was in wrestling, and I'm like, if only they saw me now, they'd be like, what?
Holy crap. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so from the side pose, they don't want to see that your hamstrings and your quads, like one is bigger than the other. So for me, for my posing, I have been really working on activating that hamstring on that side pose and almost like pulling it forward, because one thing that people do in their side poses for wellness is they'll lock out that leg that's the closest to the judges where you're showing that glute. And if you just put a micro bend, and this is what I teach my posing clients, a micro bend in that leg, you can, I'm literally doing it right now. Like you can activate that hamstring and pull it out to make it thicker.
That's what guys do.
They do.
In actual bodybuilding, they're like side chest pose. If you ever look at their legs, they'll like sweep it forward.
You're exactly right. They put a lot of bend in it, but like for wellness, they don't want to see you doing too much of a bend.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's exactly what they do. And then for the back pose, they want to see full round and very developed glutes with clear tie-ins, and then they want to see some hammy development but not too densely muscled. So basically, like what I got from that, like what do you feel about that?
That's a good question.
Does it make you feel better about the division? And
I think so, because if I'm being completely honest, a huge reason why I've stopped competing, and not saying like forever, but the reason I haven't been competing right now is looking at the pro level, a lot of it is unnaturally obtainable.
Well, they're massive, man.
Exactly. Like there's no way I could do that without potentially having to take something that I'm not willing to take. Yeah. So that has deferred me from wanting to compete. So hearing that you don't have to be as striated, as muscular, does make it feel a little more like, okay, I could do that. Like that is a possibility for me.
Oh, well, yeah. And with the muscularity being what they're saying the criteria is, which is this is what it was supposed to be at the beginning, but like we do with things, we just end up going crazy. And but if you look at Miss Wellness Olympia, which is Francielle, when they said the criteria, that's exactly what they're looking for. She is not the most muscular girl on stage.
She's also never the most like striated.
Yeah, and they even said in the video that she was like right on the edge of being too striated. So what that does for competitors is, number one, it gives them a chance to not have to wait a bajillion and 1 years to compete, to build up the muscle maturity. They don't have to like overly increase size. Then they also don't have to diet as hard or do as much cardio because they don't have to be figure level shredded.
I'm just curious to see like the next few shows if there's actually a difference.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm curious to see if they actually follow this criteria.
Yeah.
Because in the comments, and we'll go into some of the drama in the comments, but in the comments, like obviously I went into the comments and commented on it and was like, thank you so much for this. But all the wellness girls are saying like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like all the Olympian girls and stuff. And what's one comment in there said, well, are they actually going to follow this criteria?
Yeah.
And I was like, she's right, because sometimes judging is very personal. You know, like you like a different physique than I like, you know, like we both like different wellness girls' physiques just because it's preference, you know, and just like you like certain partners and the way that your partners look? Do you like certain physiques and the way that physiques look? So I'm just curious, and I hope that this is actually what happens.
Yeah, it'll be interesting seeing the next few shows. And we've been wanting to do an episode like reacting to a show. So I feel like that would give a good insight to be like, did they change anything? And it's also like, how much are these top level competitors going to change? I wonder going into the Olympia like last year versus this year.
That's a good point, because now I'm wondering if there's some of the top 5 Olympia girls, because I know personally that there's been plenty of times where I've seen these like massive girls in the wellness space that are they're like bigger than Francielle, but they are getting qualified for the Olympia. And I'm like, it's been very, what's the word? Discouraging, because I'm thinking like I have to be that massive in order to be on the Olympia stage. But it's kind of nice because now I'm like, okay, I just need to be somewhat looking like Fran, and to me that seems more realistic than like some of these girls that are massive. They look incredible, and I'm like, dang, they look amazing, but you know, it's definitely like, how much time do we have, you know? So yeah, I'm really curious with these next couple of shows, because the season's almost over. There's only 2 more pro shows left, I believe. 2 to 3 more pro shows until the end of the season, but then the season starts back up February 2024. Yeah. So I'm really curious to see this next wave.
I'm excited.
Yeah. But yeah.
Maybe I'll compete again. Who knows?
Yeah, you should. You should.
Okay.
Thinking. Let's talk about the drama in the comments.
Yeah, if it's not, that was my first like question, was if it's not coming from the competitors, if they're supporting it, who's stirring it up?
Okay, so this is what happened. Do you know who Gilco Productions is? He's an incredible photographer, and you know who Johnny Styles is, the Wellness Observer. So Gilco Productions is a photographer. He's done so many of those incredible photos that you'll see.
He's typically hired by the IFBB, I feel, to do like the pro shoot, like after.
Yeah.
Whatever.
His amazing. He's like, you always see his photos. As soon as the Olympia happens, all the Olympians are posting his photos. And then Johnny Styles is the Wellness Observer. So basically, Johnny Styles is like wellness specific bodybuilding content, and like
I feel like if you care about the wellness
category,
you have seen his page.
Yes. And I know him personally. He's very sweet. He's awesome. He's very supportive of me and very supportive of like all the girls in the industry, really. But what happened in the comments was, so I'm gonna have to read it because I was scrolling and seeing the comments.
I started reading ahead and I was
don't read ahead. So Gilco Productions, the photographer, comments on the post. And he says, after watching this, I've decided it's official. At Johnny Styles has no clue what he's talking about. And everyone should quit following him for his couch judging because he's clueless. And in my brain, I'm like, damn.
That's crazy.
And then Johnny Styles answers back and says, oh, hi, it's the walking gimbal guy. Dude, listen, for a kid that has no idea what this class was in 2013, when I was promoting it, you talk a lot. A lot of things Tyler mentioned, I've said before. We can chat about this at the Olympia. You can also ask a famous IFBB Florida promoter who was the guy who sent him to the official wellness rules and regulations when it was being considered. Ask JM or Jim Mannion, the owners of the MPC and IFBB, where he heard about the class. I can go on, but keep practicing your ninja walk with your gimbal thing. And then the most savage comment that I've ever heard back, Gilco Productions says, you're like the construction guy who holds up the stop sign, taking all the credit for building the road.
That's crazy.
Bro, why?
They really came for your blood.
Why so much hostility on the wellness stuff?
I'm sure they've had some like beef in the past. Like there's no way that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, right? I don't know. Like I really don't know.
And those are 2 huge names in the IFBB wellness space. So exactly. That's wild.
It's so crazy. I like read it to Zach and I was like, damn, people being savage up in these comments. It was all like positive, like, yay, thank you. And then it was like savage. I was like, God dang.
Was this on YouTube?
This was an Instagram comment.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think they probably posted it on their YouTube channel too, the video of the rules and regulations. But this one was on Instagram that I was watching it from. But
we can't both drink our energy drinks at the same time.
But I wanted to make the sippy sound with my straw. Okay. let's talk about the heaviest topic
Oh, man.
of today.
This
And
one's giving me anxiety.
number 3, Young LA getting canceled?
Question mark?
Question mark. Okay, so if you guys don't know about Young LA, it's a fitness brand. I was actually sponsored by them not too long ago. If you're watching YouTube, you see that I'm carrying one of their joggers right here. It'll make sense why in a second. But basically,
also, you haven't heard anything on this news.
Yes.
I am impressed because I typically stay far away from drama, tea, all of that. My whole For You page was like things about this.
The way that I actually found it was kind of crazy because I have to go searching for these things because I don't follow accounts that, do that kind of stuff. But I was watching Kayla, our friend who's been on our podcast, Kayla Fit, her story on TikTok because I love her and I love her stuff and I follow her. And she said, saying like, I don't condone what Giordani, I think it's Giordani.
Okay.
Said blah blah blah, and I was like, what? So then I went and was like Giordani Young LA rant, and then I was like, oh god, okay. So basically, what happened was Giordani, he's the Young LA's lead designer, and he's getting canceled over a very very controversial Instagram story where he calls out Gymshark, and he uses an F slur. His whole rant was about Gymshark and how he believes that they're stealing designs, specifically the Immortal joggers, which
Julia
I have
has here.
right here. So let's compare, shall we? So the Young LA's Immortal joggers are the ones that I have right here. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see it, but holding them up for you guys. The Immortal joggers are the ones that are $29.97 that Young LA sells. And basically, it's like the Young LA brand, and then it says Young Dreamers Club, and then there's like a little butterfly or something. These are the women's ones, and then it has like a definition of what a dreamer means. For the men, it's like says ambitious, and it shows the title of what ambitious means. And I looked at the Gymshark ones and did a comparison. They do look very similar, but also, who cares?
Dude, I could rant about this. I called my mom about this when I first heard, and when you first told me this was like some of the tea that we were going to talk about today.
This is over some joggers.
I have been working like on creating my own streetwear brand or like streetwear activewear brand for a long time. There are only so many set designs out there. Like if you go on Pinterest and even just type in streetwear sweatpants, a lot that look like that are coming out. I doubt he did it first. I doubt he's going to do it last.
No, it's just like all of the people, all of the brands, all of the things in this world, it is very hard to have an original thought.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I burp. Yeah, so that's what he was talking about specifically, was saying that Gymshark copied those designs and blah, blah, blah. And Gymshark was charging them for $50 and Young LA was charging them for $29.97. After the video went viral and all of that stuff, Young LA increased their price from $29.97 to $50 for the same joggers.
That's wild.
I don't know why.
Oh, I know why.
I mean, that's like, wouldn't you want to keep yours at the cheaper one?
I don't know.
Whatever.
It's just it's a petty game at that point.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like the smart business move would have been to keep yours at being cheaper because now you have a bunch of people's eyes on you.
But they view it as, oh, people are buying theirs, they'll buy ours at any price.
That's just, I don't know if that's still the case, but literally the same day that it was posted, that's what happened. I don't know if it's still the case now, but yeah, I mean, in this story, he not only dropped the F slur, but he says,
I cannot stand that word. That is like,
bro.
And this is not the F word. This is the other F slur.
Yes, the other F slur.
That word bothers me.
He says it multiple times.
Multiple times. He says that people are okay with him saying that, and I was like, who? I have a lot of
his followers are.
That's crazy.
And I'll talk about that later. A lot of people are supporting him, which is crazy, but a lot of people aren't. I literally watched it in front of Zach because I was, researching, and his face, like he was eating and while standing over me watching it, and his face just like, he's like, I cannot eat. I was like, I can't even.
I can't believe he used those choice of words.
There's just, it's that. And then there's also saying like, oh man, it's just, he says like that they've ripped off and copied our immortal joggers. Then he says something along the lines of like, when young LA moves to Europe, that Gymshark is going to have a buy one, get one free sale, because we're going to like basically take all their business. And when we're done with you, you're going to be ruined.
The next quote is crazy.
He says, I want to kill a few people in my lifetime before I leave this earth.
Like, this is why I'm like scared to even talk about it. Like, that's insane.
It was just.
And like he didn't, there was no joking undertone to this story.
There was no thought that went into. Usually before you speak, you think, how is this going to come across?
Yeah.
How is this going to potentially affect other people?
To my young followers.
Yes. Could this offend anybody? Like there was no thought process behind how this could affect his job, other people, none of that. And even after it went viral and people were like canceling him or whatever, he made another one and still didn't care. Yeah. And in the video, it's like talking about how he really just doesn't care. He really didn't care. And yeah, and he says, this is why we should bring bullying back. Don't worry, I'm going to bring it back. Basically like bullying Gymshark about the immortal joggers thing.
Also, like what a I don't want to call it a dumb topic, but in the grand scheme of life, what a dumb thing to make this like almost life-altering viewpoint stance on.
I don't know if Young LA has done anything about it. I don't know if they've fired him or taken any action. Like I don't know. Both of his accounts are private now because it probably got to be too much for him with all of the DMs and stuff, but it doesn't seem like they've done anything about it. If you guys know, let us know, but it's pretty crazy. And like even on after he was quote unquote like canceled, he went to his story the next day and was like, what do you want me to say? I'm sorry. Like, I'm not. It was just.
That's insane.
Just unbelievable. It's like one of the creators that made the first video, one of the first videos that went viral like about it, he called him out on the second story, called him a bunch of names and like all of that stuff. And there's so much more, like even like involving like Bradley Martin and how his response to it and all of this stuff, like it goes so much deeper. It just at a certain point I was like, there's too much videos. I feel like I can't.
I feel like people in that position don't realize the influence they have, and like it's easy to be like, oh, I don't know his following count, but it's easy for me even to be like, oh, I have like 120,000 followers. That's just a number on a screen. You don't realize that's that many eyes looking at you, what you're saying, taking it to heart, or taking it like, if I was a young, impressionable boy that like really loved Young LA, like how would that affect me in my stance, you know?
It really like, it genuinely worries me because I even thought about it from like the perspective of a younger boy that's growing up and like wanting to get into lifting, because I have a lot of those that go to my gym and they wear Young LA all the time. They're repping Young LA. And I was literally like two of them were there yesterday and I was thinking about this episode and I was just thinking to myself, they probably saw that. I wonder like how they feel about that.
Do they know if it's wrong? Like,
and do they think that he's cool? Do they think that he's awesome? Are they supporting? Like, I was wondering those types of things and how this can affect men, because I feel like we've come so far with men, you know,
with not bullying, with not comparing, with not.
Yeah, we've come such a far way, and it's like it feels like a couple of steps back. And the next day after all of this stuff went down, his entire story was just screenshots of DMs that he was getting of all his support.
That's crazy.
Literally, like over and over and over. Like
that makes me like sick. I also, part of me feels bad. I don't know if I should. But it feels bad for like the athletes, especially like the ones that we know, because he shouldn't represent them.
Yes.
Like that, there should be a disconnect there, unless like, who knows, maybe behind closed doors, they are supporting him. Like it's hard to tell who associated with the brand now is going along with what he's saying and who is like, oh, that doesn't speak for me.
That's true. And I couldn't find anywhere that Young LA made a statement about it or anything.
Yeah. They're taking the PR, let's be quiet.
Yeah, but
route.
it seems like too, when I was looking at all of like the comments and stuff like on their Young LA's recent posts, because usually that's what happens. Like since his accounts are private now and he doesn't have the TikTok and the Instagram available anymore. So I looked there and everyone's just saying, bring him back, bring Jared Hardy back, bring him back. And I'm like, no, do not. This is just, it just makes the company look so bad and it hurts a lot of people. And the way that he was speaking was like just a mean frat guy or something.
Yeah, it was meant to hurt anyone hearing it, especially anyone in like the Gymshark space, which is a huge company that's I could be wrong, but has been around way longer.
Gymshark don't care about you.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They're doing like, just fine.
They're literally the OGs. They're doing fine.
Yeah. That's just crazy. It like literally makes me speechless because I like don't understand how someone, like you said, could not think about how what they're saying is going to affect people, watch it back and then be proud of it and like stand by it multiple times.
Keep doing it over and over again. Like one of the videos was saying that it was like 30 minutes of IG stories. So imagine 30 minutes of talking on IG stories, like just continuously saying like, I'm not sorry. Like, what do you expect me to do? Blah, blah, blah. Unreal. You guys are taking things too seriously. I refuse to get canceled. Like, I'm not canceled. Like, blah, blah, blah. Really just unreal. So, yeah. Let us know what you guys think about that. Like, it's pretty wild.
Crazy.
It was so crazy. So, nah.
Moving on to a happy topic.
Yeah.
I read the next one.
Also, Erica texted us.
Yeah, I saw.
And I was literally thinking about her this morning, which is crazy. One of our best friends, Erica, texted us, and I miss her. We need to have a girls' day again.
Please.
When we go, and it's just us, and we do our sleepover like we always do.
We can do one soon.
Yeah, I'm so down because I need that. And also, I like my alone time. Like, even if it's like alone time with other girls and just like stuff. I need it.
Gotta get away from the boyfriend.
Gotta get away from the boyfriend. I love him, but On a happier note, Christian Guzman proposes to Buff Bunny.
Finally, dude.
Finally. When I want to say finally, but I also don't want to because I know that like there's always so much pressure for people to like, find a boyfriend, then to get married, then to have a baby. So I'm happy like that they did it on their own time and they're incredibly busy and successful people. And it's like, you do you.
I just want to see her wedding dress so bad. I just know it's going to be so pretty.
She's just so like both of them have met them in person. I've worked with Buff Bunny for years and they're so sweet, so genuine. They'll literally do anything for anybody. And it's just incredible to see them so happy. And I don't know. Yeah, I can't wait. And their wedding's going to be lit, I bet. And so bougie. And I can't wait because they're both so extra. And I love it. So when I saw the video, I think I screamed like Michael Scott on The Office when he's like, it's happening. And I freaked out.
I think I saw it because you put it in your story. Yeah. Like that was breaking the news to me.
It's happening.
That's so funny. It's so cute. And they're such like a cute couple. I don't know. They fit each other very well, in my opinion.
Yes, they do. And when I was watching the video, because of course I was literally waiting like counting the minutes until they posted the video of the proposal video on his new YouTube channel.
I need to go watch that.
Yeah, because I think the last bodybuilding tea episode we talked about his new YouTube channel and all of that. But yeah, I watched it. It was amazing. And there's a part in it where I'm like, there's no way she didn't know. She had to have known.
I feel like most people I talked to once engaged were like, I had a feeling or I knew this or I saw that. Girls are just
so intuitive. They have to know because in the vlog, he's literally talking. He's like, I'm getting ready to go do it. And she's in the background. Because he's whispering to the camera while she was in the bathroom, and then she comes out of the bathroom, and he's like whispering to the camera, and she's pretty far back, and he is whispering, but I'm like, there's no way she doesn't know. Yeah. There's no way.
I feel like once you're at a certain stage in your relationship too, like every trip or every thing you do together, you're like, today has to be the day.
You're like, we went to the bowling alley, and is he gonna like propose at the bowling? Like we went to get a burger. Is he gonna do it in the middle of a Whataburger?
That's funny.
But yeah,
where did they do it?
Egypt. Because
that's crazy.
her dream has been to like go and see the pyramids, and he bought her tickets in 2020. But then COVID happened, and they weren't able to do their trip, and they postponed it. And
do you think he was going to propose back then? And then he was just like, I have to wait.
I wonder. Good question.
I'm curious about that.
Honestly, though. Great question. Very insightful, Kendall. But
I'm such like a romantic that like I'm gonna go watch this after we are done filming. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah,
like,
it's so cute. It's really cute. And Christian is just so good at like making things feel so special. And he definitely did that. Like, and with the video, I was like, they gotta have it on video. There's gotta be like videographers on deck for this. So it was so gorgeous. I sent it to my sister and I was like, I love this vibe. Like the whole colors, it was so like earthy.
Yeah.
It looked beautiful.
The photos on Instagram were really pretty. I'll have to go watch the video.
And then
congratulations.
Lastly, congrats guys. Lastly, this is a short one, but Yarishna making a comeback.
Is she?
I don't know. She made a post on Instagram. And the last episode that we talked about her, we said that she's not qualified for the 2023 Olympia yet. And
I'm going to her Instagram while Julia talks.
Go find the video. It's her posing. She's like her butt. It'll be her butt. You'll see her butt as the first thing. And she says making a comeback ? And I'm like, are you? Because when we talked in the last episode, we were thinking like we were just honestly speculating, but because she wasn't qualified.
She has Yarishna, the Instagram handle. I was like typing in her full name. I was like, where is she? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Yes. So she did a little posing video of like showing her walking, and it's like making a comeback ? And then all the posts after that have nothing to do with making a comeback. So I'm like, I need more information.
Yeah. Do you think this is an old video, or do you think?
I don't know. She just always looks incredible.
Yeah,
so I don't
hard
know.
to tell.
It could be an old video, but it would be so like badass if she just like popped out of nowhere and was like, I'm going to win a pro show.
Yeah. And then step on stage.
Yeah. So
she could.
That's it. Oh,
she looks amazing.
She always does. So I'm just like knowing her. She's like, hey, I'm gonna just roll up and see what happens and then just win.
That's like a thing that a lot of top competitors I've seen over the years will do the show like right before the Olympia. And
well, it makes sense.
That way they can just stay lean and hop on the Olympia stage like, what is it, like 2-3 weeks later?
Exactly. So the Olympia is November 2nd. So that means she has until October 9th to qualify.
Is it in Vegas?
No, it's back in Florida.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay. My boyfriend's brother is going to Vegas for his birthday early November. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would so like tag along just to go.
I definitely want to go. I definitely want to go.
Maybe I'll join you.
It's in Florida again. Yes. You have to come with me if so. And then
we could live pod from the venue.
Really cool.
Give our commentary.
But yeah, guys, let us know in the comments below what you think. Anything that you want us to cover on the next episode of Bodybuilding Tea. And as always, we love you all so much, and you're more powerful than you think.
Bye.